Most drivers worry about blowouts, brake checks, or drifting off for a second too long. I worry about a knock, 3 slow raps on my cab door, in the middle of nowhere, where the only light comes from your own headlights. I opened that door once, and if I had opened it 2 inches wider, you would not be hearing this story. This is what happened. Last winter, I was hauling paper rolls from Ohio to Oklahoma. Heavy load, tight schedule, clear skies, cold air. Dispatch pushed me off the interstate because of a crash and rerouted me along a state highway that cut through timber and farmland. Long stretches with no houses, no gas stations, no traffic. Around 1:40 in the morning, I passed an old way station. Lights off, windows boarded, sign flipped to out of service. It looked abandoned. 10 miles later, I heard a metallic clank from the trailer. Could have been load shift, could have been nothing. I pulled into a gravel turnout near mile marker 212. That is when I saw headlights swing in behind me. White SUV. Government-style spotlight mounted near the mirror. The driver stepped out wearing a reflective vest and a dark beanie, duty belt around his waist, and yes, he had a gun. He walked up to my door and knocked, slow, measured. 3 times. I cracked the window an inch. "Evening," he said. "State Commercial Enforcement. You bypassed the scale." It was closed. "Random inspections tonight." His tone was calm, but his eyes were not. He shifted his stance, and I saw it clearly. His holster was unbuckled, the retention strap hanging loose. That is not normal, not for any officer I have ever met. "I need your license and logbook," he said. I hesitated. He leaned closer to the door. "Step out of the vehicle." I looked past him. No official markings on the SUV. Plates looked standard. "I would prefer a lit location," I said. He did not smile. "This is the location." The wind picked up, pushing gravel across the lot. Then I noticed something else. Another vehicle, a pickup, parked farther back in the dark, engine idling low, watching. The man at my door rested his hand on the grip of his gun, not drawing it, just letting me see it. "You are required to comply," he said. His voice had changed, lower, harder. "I would like to verify your credentials," I replied. He stepped even closer, close enough that I could see stubble along his jaw, and no name patch on his vest, just blank Velcro. "I said step out," he repeated. The pickup's headlights shut off. We were in darkness except for my cab lights and his SUV beams. He unfastened the holster strap fully, let it hang. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. "I am not stepping out," I said. Silence. Then he pulled the gun, slowly, deliberately, not pointed yet, just visible. "You are interfering with an inspection," he said. There was no anger in his voice. That made it worse. The second he raised the weapon toward the window, I did the only thing I could think of. I dropped the truck into gear and floored it. 80,000 pounds of freight does not leap forward. It lurches, but it moves. I heard him shout something. Then, a gunshot. The sound cracked through the night. My driver's side mirror exploded. Glass sprayed across the cab. Another shot. I ducked instinctively but kept my foot down. The truck fishtailed on gravel before gripping pavement. I did not look back. I did not slow down. I just drove. For the next mile, I expected headlights to appear in my mirrors. They did not. No SUV, no pickup, nothing. Just empty highway. I drove 10 miles before I dared to breathe normally. At the next truck stop, I parked under bright lights and called it in through the satellite system. My hands were shaking so badly I had to redial twice. I told them everything. The closed way station, the unmarked SUV, the gun, the shots. State Patrol checked the location. No vehicles found, no shell casings, No evidence of recent activity. The way station had been permanently shut down. For 8 years, no scheduled inspections, no authorized units in that area. The only proof was my mirror, shattered. Clean bullet strike through the housing. Insurance replaced it. Company filed a report. No suspects, no arrests. Sometimes I replay it in my head. If I had stepped out of that cab, if I had opened the door wider, if I had hesitated 1 second longer. I do not think this would have been a robbery. I think it would have been something else because he did not seem nervous. He did not seem rushed. He seemed certain. Certain I would open the door, certain I would step down, certain I would comply, and when I did not, he shot. Now, every time I park at night and someone walks toward my cab, I check one thing first. The holster. If it is unbuckled, I do not wait for the knock, because sometimes authority is real and sometimes it is just a vest, a badge-shaped piece of metal, and a loaded gun waiting for you to unlock your door. And if you ever hear 3 slow knocks, in the dark, on a road that feels forgotten, do not open it, do not argue, do not explain. Put the truck in gear and drive immediately. There is a stretch of desert highway I still drive, but I do not look at the shoulder anymore. Not before sunrise. Because one morning I stopped for a man who was walking alone out there, and by the time the sun came up, I was not sure who had needed help, him or me. This happened 3 years ago. Late August, I was hauling refrigerated produce from California into Nevada. Night shift, clear sky, no traffic. Around 3:30 in the morning, I was on a 2-lane highway that cuts through open desert. No buildings, no lights, no cell service. That is when I saw him, a man walking north along the shoulder, not waving, not stumbling, just walking at a steady pace. No vehicle in sight, no backpack, no reflective gear. I passed him, checked my mirrors. He never looked at me. That bothered me more than if he had tried to flag me down. I drove another 1/4 mile, then slowed. Company policy says do not pick up strangers, but leaving someone out there felt worse. I stopped ahead of him and cracked the passenger window. "You need a ride?" He stopped walking immediately, like he had been waiting for that question. "If you are going north," he said. His voice was calm, clear. He climbed in without hesitation. Mid-30s, clean jeans, long sleeves despite the heat, no visible sweat, no dust on his boots. "You break down?" I asked. "Something like that. No details." He did not look around the cab, did not ask about my load, did not touch anything, just stared forward. After a minute, he said, "It is quiet out here." "It is the desert," I replied. He nodded. Easy place for someone to get lost. That was the first moment I felt something tighten in my chest. We drove in silence for several miles, then I saw a sedan parked in a gravel turnout ahead. Driver's door open, interior light on, no one visible. I slowed. "That yours?" I asked him. "No." "You want me to stop?" He hesitated. "You do not have to." That answer did not help. I pulled into the turnout anyway. The sedan looked recently abandoned, keys in the ignition, wallet on the seat, phone in the cup holder with a cracked screen. No obvious damage. I stepped out and called toward the desert. No response. There was one clear trail of footprints leading away from the car into the sand. Only one set. I followed them about 30 yards. They did not disappear. They just kept going farther into rougher ground where I could not track them clearly anymore. The desert shifts, wind covers things, that part is explainable. What bothered me was the direction, straight out, no curve, no hesitation, like someone walked away on purpose. The truck horn sounded once, short, sharp. I turned. He was leaning across the steering wheel, looking at me. I got in, more unsettled than I wanted to admit. "You should not leave your truck running," he said. "You moved seats?" I just leaned over. He returned to the passenger side without argument. I checked the mirrors again. The sedan's door was still open, no movement around it. We pulled back onto the highway. After a few miles, I asked, "You know anything about that car?" "No. You seemed in a hurry to leave. I do not like staying in one place too long." That answer stayed with me. A little before sunrise, he said, "You can let me out here." There was nothing there. No exit, no buildings, just desert. "You sure?" I asked. "Yes." I slowed. He stepped down before the truck fully stopped. He did not thank me, did not look back. He walked away from the road, not along it, into the open desert, steady pace, same as before. I watched in the side mirror until the distance swallowed him. The sun was starting to rise, light flattening the land. He became smaller, then hard to see, then just another shape in the heat haze. I told myself that was all it was, distance, light terrain. At the next fuel stop, I reported the abandoned sedan through the non-emergency number. They said they would check it out. I do not know what they found. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe someone walked off after an argument. Maybe the man I picked up had nothing to do with it, but I keep thinking about the timing. He appeared where there was no car. A car appeared where there was no one. He did not want me to stop. He did not want me to stay, and he chose to get out in the same kind of empty space where I found him. Now when I drive that stretch before dawn, I watch the shoulder. Sometimes I think I see someone walking north. Same steady pace. I do not slow down anymore, because I still do not know. Was he trying to leave the desert, or was he trying to see who would follow him into it?